guys, welcome back to another deck profile. Today we're going to be going over SP. This deck's awful. I'm just going to say that right now. The SP deck, while during its heyday in the Diamond and Pearl era, SP being awesome, in U150 it's just not. It lacks the damage output, it lacks the energy acceleration, it lacks a lot of things. Sure, you could build this deck completely differently, and you could build it with more focus on certain SPs over other SPs and just kind of have like an SP engine in there. You could focus it on getting Power Spray out over and over. You could focus it on freaking like anything else. I don't know. But we kind of built this as just like let's pepper in every SP we can and just make sure that we can always have Power Spray available if we never need it. And that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, it does lack a significant amount of damage output. We kind of tried to build this like a hit you for weakness toolbox sort of deck, but it just didn't. However, it did take a win in the U150 tournament because of Power Spray. So like, yay, I guess. Like that's literally the only reason this deck ever did good. So. We're just going to go over quickly. There's not going to be so much, not going to be a whole lot of analysis. It's just going to be like, hey, we play this because of this. And so, ready for the most unexciting video of the format. So, we do play the 1/1 Luxray GL for that bright look, being able to Lysander something up. Flash Impact 60, it's probably going to be your best attack in the game. You're going to have Charizard G, level X, Malevolent Fire. If you ever get a whole lot of energies onto the field, you can swing for 150 with that guy. We're going to play Infernape. Fernape 4 level X. I totally forgot what this guy even does. You can have your opponent switch his or her active, so get stuff out of the active, hits for 100, that sort of thing. We're gonna play Dialga G level X. So you're gonna want that item lock with Deafen and Pokey Bodies, stopping that being from used. Dialga G there. You have Garchomp C to heal all of your Pokemon and then snipe for 80. Staraptor FB is actually a really, really good level X. It allows you to search your deck for any supporter card you want, and that's actually really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that teched into a lot of decks, to be honest. It's pretty nifty, and it's got free retreat and that sort of thing. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that in a lot more decks, actually. Ambipom G for Tail Code, being able to move energies down like their Claydol, like kind of annoy them that way, and then Snap Attack being able to do 60. Floatzel and Sight, that brings back 2 supporter cards into your hand, so good recovery option there. You do have Toxicroak G, which does Poison Revenge, so that's 60 and Poison. It's one of your bigger hitters just because they can attack for 1 energy. Lucario GL, doubles every weakness, and so instead of plus, it's doubled. That's kind of nice for your low damage output. Skunk Tank to add damage, it's going to add that poison damage there. And then you also have Toxicroak G, which if they are poisoned, this guy deals more damage, deals 60. So, and then you also have Crobat G, Flashbite deals 10. Support Pokemon, we are going to be running a 1/1 Baltoy line. We're not going to run the Porygon. You kind of have the Staraptor as just like, hey, I need this specific supporter. You don't need a like supporter for a supporter sort of thing. So we felt like that was good enough, although it's probably not. We run Uxie, and since we're running Uxie, we also are running Uxie level X, just because, hey, like, we're going to play every level X under the sun. So it kind of just makes sense there. And then rounding out with Lapras. So it's just kind of every GX we can, hitting for double damage. There are some types missing. Grass type is definitely one of the ones that could have been in the deck, so there is that as well. Yay, SP decks. Alright, moving on to supporters, you'll see just a few extra supporters here you normally wouldn't see just because it is an SP engine. We are running Aaron's Collection, which search your deck for 2 SPs or basic energies. So it's kind of like Rosie's Research, but more target level X's because those are SPs as well. Right? Pretty sure? I think that's how it works. No, it's not. Never mind. You can't target level X's. You can target some of them, sorry. You can target some level X's. It's been a long day. You can target some level X's with that. Pokemon Collector, Rosie's Research. We also play Cyrus's Conspiracy because we are running SB stuff. This is going to help you get that energy gain out, which is probably the best tool card in the deck. Karina and Skyla for search cards. Moving on, we have both Juniper and Sycamore, as well as both Rockets and N, and then that Colress Copycat combo per use, and then Professor X's New Theory. Pretty standard looking supporters there. Switching cards, we're going to play AZ and Brimies to help get back the cards like Garchomp C and Luxray GL, ways just kind of use those effects. and then Lysander and Guzma for switching cards. Mallow and Teammates for your draw 2. Those are pretty much going to be in every single deck. Your recovery options, we're going to have Trump Card and Marley's. And then to round it out, Hexmaniac, Blacksmith, because you do run 2 Fire-type Pokemon that do need that acceleration. And then Iris, because your damage output is lacking big time, but that does need to go in a lot more decks. I wouldn't mind seeing what card that does need to go in here that is comboed a lot with Charizard G-level X is Speed Gain Quaza. I wouldn't mind seeing that in this deck. We definitely need it because we do run Fire and Lightning. So it just kind of helps accelerate to both of those Pokemon. Just as a side note. Moving on to what are these? Item cards, yes. Searching cards. We're going to have computer search as always. We're going to have SP Radar, extra ways to search out SP Pokemon. Same with level max, because we have a lot of level X's. Same with Premier Ball. Like I said, a lot of level X's, so we really want to lean on those 2 for those. Pokemon Communication, Ultra Ball, Level Ball, Swoop Teleporter, and Luxury Ball. Some extra searching cards here, just because you play a lot of Pokemon and a lot of level X's. We want to be able to get them when we can. Bill, Misty, and Oaks for your for all of your drawing card needs. We have a Scoop Up, and Poketurn. Poketurn targets SP specifically, so a lot of ways to switch, a lot of ways to heal with Scoop Up and Poketurn. Super Rod, Item Finder, Pokemon Retriever, Junk Arm, Versus Seeker, and Pal Pad for all of your recovery options. Very, very, very standard there, nothing too crazy. Battle Compressor to get your fires in the discard pile. If you play that Speed Gain Quaza, you can also get Lightnings in the discard pile. And then this also discards like the SPs that you're not going to need to hit for weakness. Laser to help with damage, and then Oaks and Blower to round out the items. Standard items there, nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy. Like I said, this deck is very uninteresting, and we threw it in because we wanted to build it and just see how it was, and it's one of the lowest tier decks out there. You're playing a lot of basics, so you have Snowpoint Temple. You're playing non-evolved, so Snowpoint Temple to give all of your stuff extra HP. And then Skyfield, because bench space can be an issue, but usually it isn't. So you have both of those in there as well. Item cards. Oops, I forgot Power Spray. Sorry, this is Power Spray in the item section. If you don't know what Power Spray does, if you have 3 or more SPs, you can play this card on your opponent's turn to shut off one of their abilities. It's super, super good. If they play like Lapras or Uxie, it's on the bench already. And this card single-handedly won the game against Gyarados because Gyarados played that Lapras down, it SP'd it, and then it Power Sprayed it, and then the game was over. You'll see that when we post the video on Gyarados versus SP. So that's how that happened. So now item cards, you're going to have Muscle Band and Flowstone, pretty standard there. Experience Share, because the energy acceleration is super lacking. You might even think about playing a Wishful Baton on this deck, to be honest. Fighting Fury Belt helps when before you get to level X, it helps those basics get extra XP. And then Energy again, probably the best card in the deck, makes the SP Pokemon that it's attached to cost 1 energy less. So great energy acceleration there. Definitely needed to be used over and over again. I would even consider playing like an Eco Arm to get it back over and over. I got all the Elite Four plus Dowsing. No reason not to play any of these. They're all super, super good. And then Dowsing being the best spec in the game. And then energies here, you're going to play SP Energy, because you're playing SPs, so nice little rainbow there. Prism Energy to go on to those basics when you level X. That's obviously not going to be basic anymore. Rainbow for an extra colored energy. And then DCE, kind of round out some of those higher energy attackers. And then for energies, we're going to have 4 Fire, 2 Lightning, 2 Psychic, and 2 Metal. That's pretty much all the ones you're going to need there. You could lean more on the Psychics, but you know, it's just kind of a weird deck. It's kind of a rainbow deck. There's a lot of cards you can add and subtract to make this deck a little bit more fluid, like Smeargle or Speed Gain Quaza, that sort of thing. But you always have to make sure you have 3 SPs on the field so that you can use Power Spray. But yep, that does it for the SP deck. If you have any questions, please let us know. If you ask me a question about this deck, I probably won't know, just because this is, out of all 64 decks, this is probably my least favorite. I just think it's really boring and dull, but that's just me. I got a hard opinion, scur. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next video.